49ers preseason football returns on Friday as San Francisco plays host to the Green Bay Packers. And you would think we're going to get an extended look at Trey Lance because he needs in-game reps to get ready for week one to be this team's starting quarterback. Of course, we'll be doing a watch party for it. Make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications so that you can join us. But also, before we start the show, if you're excited about the return of actual 49ers football, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. Do that, and let's talk about these Jimmy Garoppolo trade rumors right now. Happy Monday and welcome into the 49ers Report by Chat Sports. Chase Senior here with you. Hope all of the faithful had a fantastic weekend and you're gearing up to have an awesome week. We have an awesome show on tap for you today, and it's presented to you today by Manscaped, the leader in the best men's grooming products. If you want 20% off and free shipping, all you have to do, use that custom link down below for the faithful. It's manscaped.com/49ers. I'll put that link in the comment section and the description of this video. So really the focus of the show today revolves around Jimmy Garoppolo, and could he get traded to the New York Giants? There is buzz starting to get a little bit louder around a potential Garoppolo trade to New York because Daniel Jones not performing well throughout Giants training camp. And the Giants, the writing was on the wall because they did not exercise the fifth-year option for Daniel Jones, the former first-round quarterback who probably was drafted a little bit too early coming out of Duke. And a big reason why New York could look to make a trade, make a switch at the quarterback position, they have this new regime of general manager Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll coming over from the Buffalo Bills, where they did masterful work with Josh Allen, who in year one coming out of Wyoming, completion percentage of 55%. All the way in year three, it goes up to 70, and now he's arguably the best quarterback in the NFL, if he's not at least one of the most skilled quarterbacks in the NFL, and a bona fide MVP candidate. So if Brian Daboll can't extract the best out of Daniel Jones, he's going to be looking for the future quarterback of this franchise, and this new leadership regime in New York could look to make a change. I also thought this was pretty notable. There was a clip that went viral on Twitter of Daniel Jones throwing dead ducks. Daniel Jones misfiring on a number of throws, and former NFL executive, most notably with the New England Patriots, who was Bill Belichick's side piece in Michael Lombardi, tweeted this out and quote tweeted that video of Daniel Jones's misfires saying, "Call Jimmy Garoppolo." Now, these Garoppolo to Giants rumors were relevant a couple weeks ago, and now they're once again starting to pick up steam because Daniel Jones not performing well. And the odds for Garoppolo's next team in 2022, what do you see? It's the New York Giants in second place at plus 375 odds behind the Cleveland Browns. The Browns are leaders in the clubhouse right now because still no decision on the NFL's appeal about what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson this year. If he's suspended the entire season, half the season, I think Cleveland makes a lot of sense for Garoppolo for the reasons that I've talked about here on the show. Other teams in the mix: Houston Texans, of course the San Francisco 49ers, because that is Garoppolo's team right now at 8-1 odds, and the Seattle Seahawks at 10-1 odds. My take, what I've been saying all along: an injury to a quarterback throughout training camp or the preseason, or poor quarterback play, could heat up the Jimmy Garoppolo trade market. And that's started to happen, and that's why these New York Giants rumors are once again surfacing because of the latter. Daniel Jones just playing porous football so far in Giants training camp. Now, we're only getting started on today's show. You don't want to miss any of it. I hope you're locked and loaded with us because I greatly appreciate all of you for making today's show a part of your day. But I want to hear from you in the comments section. If Garoppolo goes elsewhere, will you be rooting for him? Give me a Y for yes or an N for no. I know this fan base is certainly divided. When it comes to the Giants, why they might look to make a deal for Garoppolo, well, they're desperate to win, and while the Mara family might really like Daniel Jones because they see similarities between him and Eli Manning from the sense that Manning got off to a rocky start, actually saw his first career NFL action all the way back in 2003 in Philadelphia, and he didn't look good in replacing Kurt Warner. But they love Daniel Jones and the makeup of him, and they know that he's undergone some of these struggles early in his career, kind of like Eli Manning. But at the end of the day, it's about winning, and the Giants have not done a lot of that that over the last decade. One playoff appearance, yes, one playoff appearance over the last 10 years. They're playing in a competitive New York City market alongside the New York Yankees, one of the best teams in baseball. The New York Mets, who are leading the NL East. The Knicks are always grabbing the headlines. They signed Jalen Brunson, might look to make a trade for Donovan Mitchell. The Rangers and Jets, also relevant. If the Giants fall into irrelevancy, that's a problem for New York, and the fan base is always putting pressure on the front office to win and make win-now moves. And what does Garoppolo do well? He wins a lot of football games, 71% of his starts with San Francisco. And do the Giants want a winner? They certainly need one because over the last decade they haven't had it. So that's what's interesting about this conversation, and the poorest play of Daniel Jones making this conversation, in fact, a conversation. We're also going to have a conversation coming up around the corner about Garoppolo maybe going to the Los Angeles Rams because once again today, Matthew Stafford not practicing. Mike Florio floating out the idea of Garoppolo going to the rival Rams. First, though, I want to tell you about today's presenting sponsor, Manscaped, the leader in the best men's grooming products. Jimmy Garoppolo's nickname is Jimmy GQ. He famously went on a date with a porn star. The beard is always finely manicured. You think that he doesn't use Manscaped? Of course he does. And I hope that he uses our promo code, manscaped.com/49ers, to get 20% off and free shipping because it's hot boy summer, it's hot ball summer, and you can get hooked up with all of these great products to my right in the performance package. Lawnmower 4.0, the boxer briefs are so comfortable. I actually used this over the weekend. I won't give you details on that, but it's all good. I'll save you from that. But all of these products available right now for $95.99. If you use the link at the bottom of your screen, I hit up Manscaped back several months ago. I said, hey, we need a custom link for the faithful. They gave it to us. Manscaped.com/49ers. Once again, that link hanging out in the comment section and the description of this video. So we get to this really weird situation with Matthew Stafford. He's dealing with elbow tendonitis, and this is an issue that he dealt with last year. But so far in training camp, he's barely been participating in these practices for the reigning Super Bowl champions and has sparingly been on the practice field other than a highlight reel-worthy play from over the weekend in which he threw a no-look pass. But Mike Florio had something interesting to say and said it's not crazy to envision Garoppolo going to the Rams because of the continued ailment on Matt Stafford's elbow. And John Wolford and Bryce Perkins are the Rams' backup quarterbacks right now. So it does make sense from that standpoint. As for what Mike Florio said, as the 49ers and quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo continued to wait for a starting quarterback to suffer a season-ending injury, a team in the same division has an injury that could limit, if not prematurely, end his season. And so the question that has emerged in recent days, could Garoppolo end up with the Los Angeles Rams? The question has become more relevant as more information has emerged with starting quarterback Matthew Stafford's elbow, reportedly a case of bad tendonitis. It's a baseball issue, and the Rams seem to be flummoxed by the situation. It would be awkward, to say the least, for the 49ers to trade him to the Los Angeles Rams. The more likely scenario would entail the Niners releasing Garoppolo before Week 1, making him a free agent who could sign with any team. Then the Rams could try to woo him as the insurance policy for Matthew Stafford, and of course, in turn, have an opportunity to actually win a Super Bowl championship, which Garoppolo has gotten so close to doing as a starting quarterback. The Rams, obviously, are so clearly in win-now mode. That's what their moves over the last couple of years have backed up. That's what their moves this past offseason were evidenced by. Coming off a Super Bowl-ready roster, Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, Cooper Kupp. They sign Allen Robinson. The list goes on and on and on. And if Stafford's elbow injury becomes a more serious issue in which he misses a lot of games or misses an extended period of time, could they come in and woo Garoppolo like Mike Florio said? There are financial implications that come along with either the Giants trading for Jimmy G or any team trading for Jimmy Garoppolo. Here are his exact 2022 contract details. Has that base salary of $24.2 million. San Francisco, $27 million against the cap for the Niners if he's still on the roster on April 30th. That is cut-down day to get the roster down to 53 players. $25 million against another team's cap if he's traded to that destination, but the 49ers could offer to eat some of that salary. And they do face a $1.5 million cap hit if he's cut before August 30th. So that big date to note, it is August 30th. That's when some of these financial implications come in play. And if Garoppolo's on the roster week 1, then his contract becomes guaranteed for $24 million for the entire season. So if the Giants are looking to make a trade, maybe the Rams, another team, those are the financial details that ensue with making a deal for Garoppolo. But of course, if he is let go, somebody asked me about this the other day, and he becomes a free agent if he's cut, doesn't have to go through the waiver wire. He can sign with any team that he chooses. Before we hop on out of here, get into the comments once more. What do you think happens with Jimmy Garoppolo? Spit and spew your football knowledge. Let me know, faithful. Look forward to hearing from you in the comment section. And as always, make sure you subscribe. And thanks for watching the show.